Okay, now, first of all, we are going to see how to read and understand the topic. For essay writing, you should spend 40 minutes. In total, they will give you 1 hour, and in 1 hour in IELTS, you have to complete two tasks. Task 1 is report writing for academic IELTS candidates and letter writing for general training IELTS candidates. And task 2 is essay writing for everybody. So, you should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Write about the following topic. Now, what's the topic? These days, more and more people are going to other countries. Now, you are among those people. They say that these days, more and more people are going to other countries for significant periods of time. What is that significant period? 1 year, 2 years course, 4 years study program, 5 years, and all that. So the topic is more and more people are going to foreign countries for a long time, either to find a job or study for two reasons: for career or for education. Right now we understand, we try to make sense of the topic that nowadays a lot of people are going to foreign countries either to find a job or study for a long period of time. There are clearly many benefits to doing this. Doing this means going to a foreign country. But people who live abroad can also face some difficulties. Okay, now people who go abroad, they face difficulties also. Next, they say, discuss the advantages and disadvantages of living and working in a foreign country. After reading this topic, you need to think about, Yasin, these people are not on the right book and the right page number. Just tell them. So you need to see there should be two advantages and two disadvantages of going to a foreign country for a long time, either to find a job or study. Now, if you do not discuss job or study, your essay will be off the topic. If you only discuss going to a foreign country without long period of time, even then you are off the topic. So you need to cover all these things: advantages, disadvantages, going to a foreign country for job, for study, okay, and for a long period of time. Absolutely both. Yes, yes. So discuss the advantages and disadvantages of living and working in a foreign country. Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Now we write the essay. Whenever you write advantages, disadvantages essay, it's your choice. You may write 4 paragraphs. Introduction, advantages, disadvantages, conclusion. And in conclusion, you have to mention whether advantages are more or disadvantages are more. This is one pattern. Second pattern is introduction, advantage number 1, advantage number 2, disadvantage number 1, disadvantage number 2, and conclusion. So you may write 6 paragraphs. In this case, your body paragraphs will be short. But if you write 2 body paragraphs, then they will be long. Now let's see how to do that. In introduction, it's a good idea to write 3 sentences. Some introductions are of 2 sentences also, and some introductions have only 1 sentence. So there is no science here. It depends how you write your introduction. You may write minimum 1 sentence and maximum 4 sentences in your introduction. Now, first sentence in your introduction is a general sentence about the topic. Whatever the topic is, you will write a general sentence. For example, here, please follow me. I'm reading first paragraph. Nowadays, taking a year out to live or study abroad is becoming increasingly popular. This is a general sentence about the topic. Taking a year out. Taking a year out means long time. Okay, and then study, live or study abroad. Live means maybe career, and study means education. For many people, especially young adults, the chance to spend an extended period of time overseas is an attractive one. So for young people, for you guys, it's very attractive to go to a foreign country and live there for 4 or 5 years. However, there are both pros and cons to deciding to do this. Now, deciding to do this means going to a foreign country to live there for 4 or 5 years for job or career. So in order to decide to do this thing, there are benefits and drawbacks. This is called paraphrasing the topic. Next is what we call thesis sentence. Your thesis sentence will tell the examiner the type of essay that you are writing. If you say, in this essay, I will discuss some of the reasons why moving abroad is so popular. Now, some of the reasons why moving abroad is popular means advantages. This is called paraphrasing, rewording. If you use the word, in this essay, I will tell you the advantages and disadvantages, you are using very limited vocabulary, you will get limited band score for that. But if you say, I will tell you the reasons why going to abroad is popular and some of the challenges to be overcome. Challenges means disadvantages. So for advantages and disadvantages is use the word reasons why it is so popular and the challenges to be overcome. This is your first paragraph, but you can write it in anyways. But I advise you to write 3 sentences in your introduction. Sentence number 1, a general sentence about the topic. Sentence number 2, paraphrase the topic in your own words. And sentence number 3, which is a must, that is your thesis sentence. In this essay, I will, whatever you want to write there. Now, we've got the first body paragraph. Let us begin by looking at the advantages of moving away, going abroad. What is the word now? Moving away. So you need to use a variety of words. One of the main positives of heading overseas, another word, heading overseas, moving away, heading overseas, try to use the words like this, is that it broadens your horizons. Now, when you go to a foreign country, it broadens your horizon, your thoughts, they are extended. What I mean by this, now what I mean by this means you're elaborating the point, is that you have the chance to meet people from different cultural backgrounds and learn to cope with foreign customs and food. This can make you more rounded as a person. More rounded means well experienced. Now look here. In your first body paragraph, you will write 4 sentences. Advantage number 1, explanation of advantage number 1, example related to advantage number 1, and conclusion. What is the conclusion? This will make you more rounded as a person. So in the body paragraph, there should be 4 sentences. Next body paragraph. Secondly, explanation. Not reason. Explanation, then example, and then conclusion. Secondly, moving abroad can lead to a better quality of life. Now the second benefit is better quality of life. That is the second one. Take British people for example, and whenever you give examples in IELTS, please give general examples. Please give international examples. Do not add any survey reports. Do not add any fake survey reports like according to the magazine, according to Trade magazine and all that. Okay, don't do it. It's all wrong. You should not do it. Okay. So, moving abroad can lead to a better quality of life. Take British people for example. Thousands of people from the UK moved to Spain and Australia. Now you can give example of Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, or Asian countries. You can use the word Asian countries. Instead of saying take British people, you can say take Asians for example, or as an example. Okay, these countries have warmer climates and encourage a better work-life balance. What do they mean by these countries? Spain and Australia, not UK. Yeah. So, warmer climates and encourage a better work-life balance. In addition, by living overseas. Now see the vocabulary. Overseas, going away, foreign country. So now whatever the topic is, try to use as many relevant words as possible to get good band score. Okay. You can gain qualifications and language skills which may improve promotion prospects on your return. For example, you go to Japan, you learn Japanese, okay, or any other country, and you learn their language, so this can help you. Next, turning to the other side of the argument. What does it mean? You are guiding the reader that now I will go to the other side. First I mentioned advantages, now I am going to discuss disadvantages. So turning to the other side of the argument, culture shock is a major problem. You go to a foreign country, you see something, you say, oh, hi, yeah. All right. You're just like this. Culture shock. Culture shock is something like this. You get a shock, right? So, many people who take a year out find it hard to cope with the language barrier. Culture shock. Now, culture and language, they are the same. Language barrier. The food and general cultural differences. Now, for example, in some countries, some Central Asian countries, people eat horse. In your country, people don't eat horse. If somebody presents you the meat of horse, say, I don't want to eat horse because I've eaten donkey before. So, so that is the case. All right. This often leads to homesickness. When there is culture shock, there will be homesickness, and in some cases, a sense of isolation. Means you are alone. You feel lonely, right? Then you go to the beach and sitting alone, throwing stones in the sea and sitting there and all that, okay? All right. Next, another issue is that. Issue means disadvantage. So you're not using the word advantage, disadvantage, advantage, disadvantage. Expand your vocabulary. Another issue is that it can be difficult to start a new life from scratch. When you go to a foreign country, you start new life from zero. So it can be difficult to do that. In other words, when you move abroad, you can use these words, by the way. In other words, I have given all these words in the template. So you can copy these words from there, right? Okay, so they say here, in other words, when you move abroad, you have to make new friends and find your place in community. This process takes time. Which process? Process of finding your, making new friends and finding your place in the community. All right, and it can be especially challenging if there is also a language barrier to deal with. Conclusion, all things considered. Now, you're going to conclude advantages are more or disadvantages are more. All things considered. Starting a life in a foreign country is never easy. So, what is the conclusion? Conclusion is it is difficult going to a foreign country and starting a new life. Next, you're going to give one sentence summary of 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages. Okay, in one sentence. You need to weigh up the pros of better lifestyle, that is second paragraph of your essay, weather and so on, and the cons of culture shock. Culture shock is the first disadvantage, and language barrier. And finally, you will give your opinion. And what is your opinion? Advantages are more or disadvantages are more. So personally, I believe, you can add this. Personally, I believe the benefits in terms of personal growth eventually outweigh any negatives. So you can copy this sentence. If you think benefits outweigh negatives, you can copy it. Otherwise, I believe the negatives in terms of something outweigh the positives. So you can write opposite as well, right? There are so many sentences or words which you can reuse when you write your own advantages, disadvantages essay, okay? So this is how you need to go on and complete your essay. There is one more thing I just want to tell you about a topic. Will you please come to page number 190? Next unit, very next unit from this book. We've got very next unit, page number 190. There is model essay advantages, disadvantages. Found it? Check kijiyega. Found it? Okay, now let's read this topic. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of working from home. Now you got to think, what are the advantages of working from home? If you work from home, what are the benefits? You don't have to travel. Number 1. Number 2, you don't have to dress up. Okay? And what are the disadvantages? एक पाव दही ले आए, सब्जी ले आए. ये पैम्पर आप वाला नहीं बात कर रहे, अभी हम पैम्पर से पीछे हैं. पैम्पर से पीछे वाली लाइफ है अभी, ठीक है? So all these things, right? या उसके बाद वाली है. All right? So working from home. Now you got to think, if you work from your home on your laptop, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? So I advise you to read this essay as well, right?